Guys, the bosses don't think we can get to 9K subs by the Panthers game. Prove them wrong. Help us get to 9,000 subscribers. Go down, hit that big red subscribe button. Who Dat Nation, welcome into Saints Now. I am Will Scott. It is Overreaction Monday. And Overreaction Monday videos are a little bit interesting following a loss, especially when you consider everything that went down in that loss last night, or yesterday, I should say. So we're overreacting to the Week 2 loss to the Buccaneers. We're going to tell you what's an overreaction, what's accurate. Let's begin with Jameis Winston. Should the Saints bench Jameis because he really struggled yesterday? This is a complete overreaction. I don't really think there's a whole lot of people saying this, maybe a handful, but Jameis Winston's going to be the guy going forward at least this year for the Saints. But he didn't look good yesterday. 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 236 yards, completed 25-40 passes. The Saints just scored 1 touchdown in this game, just 10 points. So a disappointing performance from Jameis when you would expect a little bit more from him, considering how big of a game this was. But in Jameis's defense, the offensive line was abysmal. I mean, he was under so much pressure the entire game. The Bucs were always putting, 7 guys in the box, getting to Jameis, and the offensive line really struggled. Again, I'm not defending Jameis because he had 3 interceptions yesterday, but the offensive line was not good. The Saints have given up 10 sacks for 65 yards in 2 games. And the offensive line coming into this season was a concern, big question mark. They've been worse than advertised, and the offensive line has to step up if the Saints want to have a chance to make the playoffs, I think. The offense has to be established early as well. They can't wait until the fourth quarter to get hot. So we've seen in the first 2 games of the season 2 slow starts for the Saints offense. They get down 26-10 in Atlanta, and then in New Orleans against the Bucs, they lose 20-10. The offensive line cannot wait until the fourth quarter to get it going early. I want to see in this Carolina game on Sunday them get more going early. Let's put it that way. I want to see them come out first drive, get some points. They need to establish themselves early in that Carolina game. Now, guys, are you out on Jameis Winston? Type Y for yes or type in for no. I'm not saying that I'm completely sold on him being the franchise quarterback, but being out on him after 2 games is far too early. I still believe in Jameis Winston. Let's get into this next overreaction. Marshon Lattimore should be suspended for his role in yesterday's fight. This complete overreaction. The fact that Marshon was even ejected was ridiculous. He should not have been ejected. Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette are those to blame in this situation. We just did hear this, though. This is breaking at this hour from NFL Network's Ian Rapoport. Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans, a repeat offender after a similar suspension in 2017, is the only player suspended in the melee. All others will be evaluated for fines as per standard process. So no suspension for Marshon Lattimore. Not a huge surprise. Again, it's ridiculous that he got ejected in yesterday's game. He's not going to be suspended after his fight with Mike Evans. Mike Evans suspended 1 game as we bring in producer Trizzy Trace. Trace, just your thoughts on all this, man.
Man, so I'm really frustrated with the situation as a whole because obviously, like you said, Marshon Lattimore shouldn't have even gotten ejected from the game. I mean, it was kind of a nonsense call. It was unprovoked. Leonard Fournette started the whole thing. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady and Marshon Lattimore were jawing at each other, but it's football, man. You got to let them have a little bit of talk. But when it got out of hand is when Leonard Fournette stepped in and started causing some problems, and then Marshon Lattimore retaliates, and then here comes Mike Evans out of the from the sideline pretty much and makes a hit and lays out Marshon Lattimore again, which is absolutely ridiculous.
I just don't see how you can look at that and say, okay, we're going to eject Lattimore from the football game.
Exactly. Well, the biggest thing about it was that, he wasn't even the instigator. He was just he got hit. He got cheap-shotted. Why are you throwing out the guy who got cheap-shotted? I get it. Yeah, he retaliated and stuff, but, come on, man. That's
he's
soft.
Not going to defend himself?
It's so soft that they ejected him. And, the fact that he isn't going to be suspended is really, really good. Also, like we said yesterday, shout out to Alontae Taylor for holding it down.
Yeah, he did good.
This even more so makes, Paulson and Debo getting healthy a big deal. We got to get him back. He has to get healthy because, thank goodness Marshon Lattimore did get suspended, but who knows, what could have happened or what could happen later in the season. So, Debo, get healthy, buddy. But Tom Brady, my favorite thing about all this was how frustrated and how mad he was getting yesterday. I mean, throwing helmets, throwing iPads, throwing stuff all over the or tablets or whatever it is. I mean, it was just extremely entertaining, and I thought it was hilarious. Just further proof that the Saints do own Tom Brady.
The Saints do live rent-free in
They
Tom
own
Brady's
him.
head
They own him.
even after this
Tom
game.
Brady got a win, but, I mean, they still own him. But, hey, also real quick, Mike Evans is softer than Charmin. And if you don't know what that means, he's softer than Charmin toilet paper. And they say they're the softest teepee out there. Mike Evans, listen to this. This is a true stat. He has hit Marshon Lattimore with more cheap shots, more times, than he has actually scored a touchdown on him.
That's just a fact.
Marshon Lattimore is Mike Evans' daddy. Mike Evans is a soft fraud from Texas A&M who doesn't know how to keep his mess together, and he doesn't know how to handle not being able to produce on the field because, like I said, he's owned by Marshon Lattimore. But whatever.
And Mike Evans suspended, Lattimore not, as it should be. I think a lot of Saints fans would be like, well, he should be suspended more than one game. One game suspension in football in the NFL is pretty significant, so I think it's a fair suspension and a warranted suspension. If you can't stand Mike Evans, type F Mike down in the comment section. I want to see that spammed down there. That next meeting in Tampa Bay is going to be
when we say spam it, we literally mean spam it like 100 times. Like, F Mike Evans. That guy's a fraud. That guy.
Softer than Charmin?
He
said it best.
Softer than Charmin, my
Go
friend.
type
It is
F
ridiculous.
down in the comments section. Want to tell you guys about this amazing, and I mean amazing deal we're giving you with BetUS. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125, number one, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. Number two, you're going to get a free Saints jersey. You heard that right, a free Saints jersey. If you go to chatsports.com/bet. So here's what you got to do. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and type in promo code chat125, sign up, deposit $100 or more into your account. You're going to get that deposit bonus, make your first bet, and then send a screenshot of your bet slip to jersey@chatsports.com. Again, that's jersey@chatsports.com. Let us know what color you want, what size you want. Here are your options. You can have a Tyrann Mathieu jersey, number 32, or a Jarvis Landry, number 5 jersey. It's a great deal. Jersey@chatsports.com. That's the email address. That email address is going to be in the comments and the description of this video. Chatsports.com/bet. The link, promo code chat125, and then send a screenshot of your bet slip and all the information we need, your address, the size, the jersey you want, jersey@chatsports.com. Those are the steps. Go and take advantage. Pick up a free Saints jersey today. Let's talk about the defense. The defense looked fine after a rough showing in Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, this is accurate. And I knew the Saints defense was going to bounce back, and they looked halfway decent yesterday against Tom Brady. Brady held to just 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 18 of 34, and what's been somewhat of a slow start to Tom Brady's age 45 season. He put up somewhat similar numbers in their first game against Dallas and then 190 yards against the Saints. Leonard Fournette was only limited to 65 yards on 24 carries, 2 receptions for 9 yards. So the Saints defense deserved better from the offense. Let's put it that way. I thought the Saints defense performed pretty well yesterday against one of the best football teams in the NFL in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans, Mr. Soft, was held to 61 yards, 3 receptions. So the Saints defense, again, looked much better than they did at Atlanta, which is what we wanted to see. I think a lot of Saints fans were concerned after that first game against the Falcons, but overall, Saints defense looked much better yesterday as we bring back Trizzy Trace. Trace, what do you think about the Saints defense?
Yeah, man. So, I like we were talking about, I was pretty impressed overall with the defense. I mean, it was a 3-3 game going into the fourth quarter with the greatest quarterback of all time, not named Jameis Winston.
Right.
Unfortunately, it didn't go the Saints' way. Like we were saying earlier, you got to get the offense started early in the game. You can't wait till the fourth quarter because, like you said, we've seen it go good, we've seen it go bad. You got to get established early. You got to get things rolling early. But in regards to the defense, it's one of those things. It looked fine. It really did. It looked good. They had a turnover. They had a fumble recovery that Tom Brady had. They kept Tom Brady pretty limited. They contained Leonard Fournette, which was one of my big keys to victory. And then I also think that they did a great job of establishing, or like keeping the packages all over the place. I mean, Tom Brady was livid. He was losing it. And yeah, we had 1 sack in 2 games. That's terrible, but let's keep this in mind. Against Marcus Mariota, if you bring a ton of pressure, if you bring the blitz a lot, he's going to run. He's going to rush. It opens up lanes. It opens up the offense for that stuff. So if you ask me, don't rush. It's fine. It's okay that there wasn't a sack or like whatever. It's week 1. You can kind of get over that. But with Tom Brady, he has such a quick release. He is so quick to get the ball down the field or, hit his check down or whatever because he's such a good quarterback and he's so smart. Consider who they played. Yeah, we need to get more sacks. I mean, this defensive line is extremely talented. There's no reason that guys like Cam Jordan shouldn't have a sack right now. I mean, Shai Tuttle is the one who got the sack. Marcus Davenport, he's kind of been quiet. I mean, Peyton Turner, like, where has he been, man? He's not. He blocked the field goal against the Falcons in week 1, which was great. But other than that, he didn't really do too much.
Right, and I'm looking for that next week against the Panthers. The defensive line stepping up a little bit more, putting a little more pressure on Baker Mayfield, getting a couple sacks in that game. Guys, to get the good vibes rolling, go type Hoodat down in the comments for a shout-out. Go spam Hoodat down in the comment section for a shout-out at a future show. Week 3 against the Panthers is a must-win for this football team because you look at the Panthers, they're not very good. They're 0-2. The Saints do not want to fall to 1-2, especially with a loss to a division rival. Very important to win that Carolina Panthers game. Take advantage of the bounce-back week. Learn from these mistakes against the Bucs. You're playing not as good of a football team on Sunday, so go out and execute, play better against the team that you should beat. That game is in Charlotte. The Saints a 3-point favorite. Go bet on the Saints and get your free jersey at chatsports.com/bet.